Good morning, everyone. I'm Naril Joy F. Ocazaran, your reporter for Organization Design and Development topic. Our learning objectives are to define organizational development, to identify the goals and challenges to organizational development, and to identify the models of organizational development. So, what is organizational development? Organizational development is the process through which an organization improves its internal capacity to be the most effective. It is a set of activities of which may be undertaken to increase organizational as well as human resource effectiveness. Objectives of organization development. Organizational development can be a long, sometimes overwhelming process, but companies usually begin with some goals in mind. First is the continuous improvement. Changing company culture to view new strategies as a positive growth opportunity allows for ongoing improvement and encourage employees to become more open to change and new ideas. New strategies are introduced systematically through planning, implementation, evaluation, improvement, and monitoring. Next, better or increased communication. Organizational development that leads to increased feedback and interaction in the organization aligns employees with the company's vision. So si employee, mas mafe-feel niya na hindi lang siya basta-basta empleyado. Mas makaka-relate siya sa mission at vision ng company. As a result, mas magiging motivated siya. Next is the individual employee development. In today's business world, pati ang mga employees kailangan mag-adapt sa mga changes. So employee development comprises training and work process improvements that help everyone keep up with shifting demands. Next, the product and service enhancement. Organizational development leads to innovation, which can help improve products and services. This innovation often comes as the result of intensive market research analysis. Last will be the increased profit. Organizational development helps profits by optimizing communication, employee processes, and products or services. Each serves to increase a company's bottom line. So changes can be difficult, but most companies believe that the benefits of organizational development can outweigh its cost. The process of organizational development. The organizational development process is a systematic, research-based series of steps. Common implementation steps include the following. First, identifying an area of improvement. Organizational change begins with identifying a need that aligns with business goals. Companies often know that need right away, but they may consider a data-driven approach to identify problems through formal surveys and feedback. This approach allows for a more thorough understanding of the area for improvement. Companies should ask themselves what they want to change and why the change is necessary. Next, investigating the problem. Once the area of improvement is identified, companies conduct an investigation to learn why the problem exists, what the barriers to improvement are, and what solutions have previously been attempted. This step can also include surveys or focus groups and individual consultations. Third, creating an action plan. The company then creates a plan with allocated resources and clearly defined employee roles. This plan will include specific support for individuals involved and identify a measurable goal. During this step, companies should think about how they'll communicate changes to staff and manage feedback. Next, creating motivation and a vision. Once the company has clearly defined and communicated a plan, its leaders must motivate their employees to share a vision. This step involves leaders acting as enthusiastic role models while helping employees understand the plan's big picture goals and desired impact. Next, implementing. While stability is necessary during implementation, supporting employees during the transition with mentoring, training, and coaching is equally important. When thinking about such support, management should consider what new skills employees will need and what delivery methods will be the most effective. Ongoing feedback and communication can help make the change process easier. Next, evaluating initial results. Once the company has implemented a plan, its leaders may create space for shared reflection, asking themselves and their employees if the change effectively met the business goals. They'll also evaluate the change management process and consider what could be done differently. This step can be overlooked if the company doesn't evaluate the changes. It won't know whether interventions have been effective. Our last process will be adapting or continuing. Depending on the evaluation of the initial results, the company may choose to adopt its plan if the results show success. If it may continue with the current plan to keep improving. Organizational change and development can present some impediments to success. Resistance to change is normal as people become set in their ways. To minimize resistance, leadership should consider a slow, incremental rollout rather than making massive changes all at once. Since change is often difficult to navigate, companies should hire leadership experts to execute high level changes. Common challenges that come with organizational development process include the following: the fear of unknown, conflicting goals, burnout, lack of leadership, lack of understanding of planned changes, and difficulty changing the vision or mission. Once an organization has identified an area of improvement and desired outcomes, the how comes next. Organizational development models help with change logistics by providing a clear framework. These models serve two purposes. First is to help lay out plan of action, and second is to clarify communication for employees. Researchers and experts in the field of organizational change and development have created several different organizational development models. First is the Lewin's three-step model. It comprises of three steps. In the first step, unfreezing, companies work to loosen current norms and procedures to prepare for change. In the second step, which is changing or transitioning, companies introduce a new strategy and implement it. During this step, management support and communication are critical to keep employees motivated and focused. The third step, which is freezing, solidifies the new normal and encourages reflection on how to sustain the change. Lewin also created the action research model, which includes three phases. First, the research on problems and theorizing solutions. The research phase involves data collection, focus groups, and often hiring an outside consultant or specialist. The goal is to identify a problem with actionable results focused solution. Second is the action phase. The action phase involves implementing the change. Similar to the change step in the three-step model, this step is impossible without clear communication from leadership and strong support in place for employees. Third, input and results phase. The final phase involves gathering data to assess the strategy's impact on the problem. This step involves analysis and reflection and can lead back to step one if the action was ineffective. So for third model, the business process reengineering model. It is much more radical and can involve completely reimagining parts of a company. The phases in this model are described in the following sections. First, map the current state of the organization's processes. So leadership documents current processes and procedures and preparation for analysis. Second, analyze the processes. Using the process map, committees or individuals analyze procedures to identify what's working and what's not. Third, identify improvement opportunities. Teams identify areas of need and brainstorm solutions. Fourth, design a process map for future improved processes. So employees and management work together to plan changes. This phase may include timetables, delegation of workload, or new organizational structures. Last step will be the implementation of changes to attain improved processes. The initiatives are rolled out and employees receive training and support.